My husband thought I was overreacting in public. I had 12 months left to walk. Stop vibrating, people are staring, my husband hissed, digging his fingers into my arm. I shoved my violently trembling hands into my pockets, pasting on a rigid smile. Tonight was my daughter Maya's solo art exhibition. The paintings on these walls were her soul, and my husband was annoyed my discomfort ruined his photos. He had no idea why my body was failing. Nobody did. For weeks prior, a neurologist explained the weakness I'd excused as fatigue was ALS. Fast-moving, terminal. I had maybe 12 months of mobility left. I hadn't uttered a syllable because I refused to eclipse Maya's career-defining night. So, I stood watching my brilliant girl sell her first masterpiece, knowing I wouldn't walk her down an aisle or physically hold future grandchildren. And my husband thought I was just being dramatic. That's the bedrock of our marriage. I meticulously erased myself to maintain his comfort. When Maya was a toddler, I abandoned my career to manage his real estate books for zero salary. When I required an emergency appendectomy, he complained the hospital chairs destroyed his back. When my sister was in a severe crash, he texted asking how the espresso machine worked. My pain was always a logistical nightmare for his schedule. I learned to swallow my terror. I became the hyper-competent ghost who organized his existence and demanded nothing. That's when the real bombshell dropped. After the guests cleared, Maya jogged over. She hugged her father, which was standard. But when she pivoted to me, the air evaporated. "Mom," she whispered, her voice fracturing. "I know. I found the clinic folder in your studio. I've known for a week." My husband stiffened. "What clinic folder?" Maya iced him out. She collapsed into my chest while I sobbed into her silk blouse. Months of paralyzing terror hemorrhaging out of me right there on the gallery hardwood. "Why didn't you inform me?" my husband demanded. "Why didn't you tell me?" Heat climbed my neck and my vision blurred. I looked at him. "Because," I snapped, "you would have made my impending paralysis entirely about how my wheelchair inconveniences your aesthetic." The ride home was a tomb. My husband glared at his phone while Maya clutched my shaking hand. Inside, he shattered the quiet. "You're being cruel," he muttered. "I've spent 22 years funding this lifestyle." I stopped at the stairs. "No, you spent 22 years funding a diorama, a controlled environment where I labor, I evaporate, and I never require a shred of empathy. I allowed it because I believed that's what loyalty looked like." His jaw dropped. I felt an absolute, chilling calm. "I missed my best friend's wedding because you refused to go alone," I continued. "I haven't taken a weekend off in 6 years because your business needs my free labor. And not once have you asked if I was okay." The next month was a battlefield. My husband swung between rage and frantic caretaking, apologizing one minute, screaming the next when therapy clashed with his golf schedule. Maya moved home to help me, which infuriated him because it exposed his uselessness. But the foundational rot was exposed. The fortress I built to shelter his fragile ego had burned to ash, and I couldn't rebuild it. I started prioritizing myself. I refused to do his accounting. I ignored his tantrums. I stopped pretending his comfort was worth my sanity.